So I was diagnosed with having celiac disease about 2.5 years ago. And for those that don't know, celiac disease is actually an autoimmune disease. And it's basically where the small intestine is really hypersensitive to gluten. And it leads to difficulty in terms of digesting and absorbing nutrients. So it can lead to things like anemia, osteoporosis, and other autoimmune diseases if people don't eat a gluten-free diet. So it is actually a serious disease, but it's manageable. So it's great, we don't have to take a pill or anything, but we do absolutely have to stick to a very strict gluten-free diet, which is one of the reasons why I'm just so happy that Arbonne have got such a simple, like, I don't have to think about anything. It is just the most simple program to follow. And I do want to preface this by saying that, you know, all celiacs are quite different and different levels of sensitivity. So if anyone here is watching as a celiac, your story might be different to mine, and obviously, you know, you'll have your own doctor that you consult to. So just, I'm sharing things from my own personal journey for 2.5 years. So I'm certainly not a doctor. But I guess some of the implications that if, as celiacs, we do eat gluten, you know, we experience things like diarrhea, vomiting, extreme pain, flu-like symptoms, and it can be really severe. So I was glutened back in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and I threw up on a plane for 11 hours. It was horrendous. It took me a week to get over it. I was in bed for a week. So this to explain the severity of things if we don't follow a gluten-free diet. So it really does shut down the immune system. And when I was first diagnosed, the gluten antibody reading was absolutely off the charts. The doctors couldn't believe that I'd actually been getting out of bed and functioning. It was that high. And I saw a gut health specialist who has decades of experience in gut health, and he'd never seen a reading as high as mine. And he had never seen someone get their reading below 20, which is normal, in the time frame that I did. And I completely attribute that to following a gluten-free diet, but incorporating the Arbonne 30-day program, because I know there's no way, having 3 kids, that I would be able to get the quality of nutrients that I do today and have the last few years because of the Arbonne program. And I love it because it really does bring the best of science and nature together, so that my body is able to better digest and better absorb the nutrients in there. And when you look at the program, the number of nutrients we get on a daily basis and the percentage of the recommended daily intake is just is incredible. Like, I'm looking at my favorite product, the chocolate meal replacement shake. And seriously, all of the nutrients on here, it's typically around 30 to 50% of your recommended daily intake in that one shake per day. So how absolutely awesome is that? And it is, I guess, another thing we have to be careful of is cross-contamination. So, for example, a buffet is like a celiac's worst nightmare, because people are using different tongs and different utensils, and they might, you know, get a Caesar salad and there's a crouton that goes in the salad without the croutons, and one little bit of contamination can put us in a tailspin. So I absolutely love the shake as it's my saving grace. So, for example, when I'm traveling, I will always take the shake with me, because there are absolutely instances where there are no gluten-free options. In terms of dinner, I even go to parties. Like, I don't expect people hosting a party to put on a gluten-free show for me. So it's just awesome to be able to, you know, have the shake before I go and just enjoy everybody's company. So I think it's just a little wonder. It takes the stress and you know, at times it can be a little bit anxious in terms of going to a function and thinking, oh my God, what food is it going to be? I'm one of those annoying people that everyone's got to cater for. So it really just is a saving grace.